Y'all know what time it is. Y'all don't know, y'all better ask somebody. Hat on, suit on, looking like a dapper dog, giving them all dressed like $1 million, diamond things in its cuffs. Y'all tell me who could it be but Steve Harvey? Yeah, listening to me. Put your hands together for Steve Harvey. Put your hands together. Steve Harvey. Steve Harvey, why don't you join in? Steve Harvey, get them on, y'all. Better give me some eggs while I listen. Steve Harvey, won't you join in with me? If you're with me, help me say, I'm your Brady, you gotta turn it on, yeah. Turn it on. Steve Harvey in the morning, y'all. So y'all can hear me on. Turn it up. Steve Harvey in the morning, y'all. Yeah. Turn your radio on. You gotta turn your radio on. Turn your radio on. You gotta turn it on. Steve Harvey got to turn them out. Got to turn them out. Steve Harvey turn them on in the morning, y'all. Come on, Steve. Come on. Do your thing, Big Daddy.
I sure will. Good morning, everybody. You are listening to The Voice. Come on, dig me now. One and only, Steve Harvey. Got a radio show. Man, oh man, oh man. You know what, y'all? I mean, really, the goodness of God is overwhelming if you think about it. I mean, really, really think about it. Even when your circumstance doesn't look so bright, even when you're going through something that's causing you discomfort, pain, even in that, God's goodness is actually overwhelming. Because don't forget, while you're going through this moment, first of all, this too shall pass. But also, secondly, remember, man, ain't everything else that you've gone through that seemed so insurmountable at the time, didn't you get past that too? I mean, it's amazing if you really think about it. If you really, you don't get stuck on any one issue your whole life. The only people that get stuck on an issue their whole life is people who won't let it go. That's really all it is. There are people who exist, and you may be one of them. Oh, please know I've been guilty of it myself before. But I learned something. There are things in my past that I just would not let go of. It was done. It was over with. I was past it. But I would not let go of it. It was over. The dude that did it to me didn't exist no more. The problem that it created didn't exist no more. The only problem that kept hanging on was I would not let it go. And man, you can't go forward if you're going to keep looking in the past. It's an impossible thing. It's like driving a car. If you keep looking only in the rearview mirror while you're driving, you're going to crash pretty soon. And a lot of people just keep crashing over and over and over and over because you won't drive your car. You keep looking in the rearview mirror at the past. Oh, woe is me. Oh, they did me like that. I ain't been the same since he cheated on me. Oh, man, ever since she stole my money, I ain't been the same. Man, she played me, and ever since that, I done treated women differently. My father used to beat me. Okay, now, look, you may have some deeper stuff going on, like you were abused or molested as a child. But eventually, guess what? Do you understand that when you have a relationship with God, you can take that to him too? and drop it off and leave it there? Do you know that he can fix and heal that? Maybe it's something serious like that that you need fixing or healing from. A relationship with God can fix and heal that. But man, come on, y'all. Whatever it is, and I'm not trying to downplay it or make it act like it wasn't traumatic in your life, because, oh God, you don't want to, you don't want nobody to do that to you, because you want to be the poster child for misery. So please don't let me take that from you. You know, if that's your position, that's your Hall of Fame card you hanging on to. I'm the poster child for misery. Oh, no one is more woe than me. Then please don't let Steve try to take that from you. You go ahead and hang on to that. But let me tell you something, though. If that's what you're going to hang on to, that's what you're going to always be, the poster child for misery. At one point in time, you're going to have to get on and move past it. Sometimes, man, it's merely a simple thing of taking it to God and leaving it there. You know, some people don't have money for therapy. Some people don't even know who to call for therapy. God is the best psychologist in the world. He can fix it for you. There is nothing too hard for God. You know, when something seems impossible, y'all, God does the impossible all the time, every day. You want to know how I know? I just look at a couple basic things. Do you know that sun comes up every day in the morning? It comes up in the east and it sets in the west. You can't do nothing about that. All you can wish, because you planted your flowers on a certain side of your house, you can wish all you want that maybe one day he would bring it up out the northwest so those flowers would no, it's going to come up out the east. It's going to come up out the east. And it's going to set in the west. And once the sun hits the horizon, when you look in the water, like if you ever out in LA and you see the sun going down, once you can visually see the sun touching the horizon, you have 3 minutes. You have exactly 3 minutes. You can sit there with your watch, you can time. You have 3 minutes and it's gone. 3 minutes is gone. I read that somewhere and then I went and tried it. It's gone. Every day, if it's clear enough, not cloudy, once the sun touches the horizon on water, you got 3 minutes. I don't care who you are. You can want it to be different. That's what he does. When the wind blows, you can't do nothing about it. He can bring it from the northeast. He can bring it from the west. He can bring it from the south. He can bring it hard. He can bring it cool. He can bring it hot. It's certain things that God does the impossible all the time. You can't explain him. You know, how those stars sitting up there. How can you find these constellations? The Big Dipper, the Little Dipper, Orion the Hunter. All that's God. That's God. Ain't nothing you can do about it. You can't reach them stars. You can't shoot at them. You can't move them out the way. Orion the Hunter's belt is gonna beat them 3 stars at an angle. You can call it what you want to call it. It's still, that's what it is. See, he does the impossible all the time. He created heaven and earth. You're saying that God can't get you through your past. Somebody did this to me. It's the worst thing. I had the worst childhood of anybody. God can't get you past that. He can move heaven, mountains, earth. He can form the Grand Canyon. He can make the water come over Niagara Falls 24/7. He can't fix your little bitty past, yours. You insignificant being as we are. It's amazing how people make their problems bigger than God. Somebody told me one time, stop telling God how big your problems are and start telling your problems how big God is. And go on with your life. Quit driving your car looking in the rearview mirror. Ain't nothing back there but your past. And if it was hurtful or painful or something you just felt like you can't get over, take your problems to God and leave them there. You hear the old spiritual, all you've heard it. Take your problems to the Lord. Take your burdens to the Lord and leave them there. You hear it all the time. But you think that applies to everyone but you? Come on, man. Yeah, a lot of people out there going through much worse than you have and have overcome it all. Why won't you take the step to overcome your past so you can get on with driving your car and see where God trying to take you? But it's a trick of the enemy. The enemy tricks you from seeing your future by having you constantly looking in your past. Man, it's a trick of the devil. If the devil just let you quit, if he would just let you get to driving your car and look out into your future shows hopefulness. You have hope when you see the future. But he can keep you in misery if he keep you looking at your miserable past. He created you. He got a plan for you. God looking for you, man. God would love to hear from you. Let's spend some time talking to God today. Hey, God, what's happening? It's me. I know I ain't talked to you in a while, but I feel bad about that, but I need you. He know that. Everybody should say that prayer all the time. It's cool. All right? Well, all right.
You're listening to the Steve Harvey Morning Show.
Ladies and gentlemen, I have an announcement to make. This is the morning after the State of the Union address. We are here. We are tired. We are drained. Ladies and gentlemen, it is the Steve Harvey Morning Show. Shirley Strawberry.
Not because we stayed up late, just because it was so boring. Good morning, Steve.
I had two rough. I had Super Bowl, now this.
Yes. Yeah. Two boring things in a row.
Man.
It was too long.
Nothing else. Call it for real.
Hello, yes. Is he still talking?
Yes.
Is he still? The president.
Tom.
Big Doggy Dog. I think we got the same producers from the Super Bowl to last night, State of the Union. Same producer, evidently. That's what we got, boss,
Good one,
man.
Tommy. Good one.
You know, man, I guess I would have. Just let me say this. From the way he talks and the way he reads, it's so damn distinct.
I know.
It's shocking, man.
Boring.
There's no passion when he's reading. You don't believe what he's saying.
No, because you can't believe it.
Because he doesn't believe it?
Because you know somebody wrote that. It's almost like this is what he's like. Mm-hmm. This is what it is. And I want you to stay with me, Shirley, because you're going to say, but I want you to imagine this.
Okay.
There's a camera. What Donald Trump looks like when he's reading is that he's sitting on the toilet and there's a camera on his face and he's talking.
Steve.
No, that's how strained he looks. He looks strained.
Well, that's what he is when he tweets.
You know? No, seriously, man. He looks like he's strained. Like he's just not comfortable with this camera on me while I'm saying this.
Telling these lies.
Well, isn't he a TV guy?
Exactly.
Mr. Apprentice and all that? So
yeah, but on The Apprentice, he was doing what he does. You're fired. You're a loser.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah.
Oh, he does that really well.
Yeah.
But
this
when when he's speaking his mind, it's when you hear the real him.
Right.
This speech was so read, so written for him.
Yeah.
Because when you hear him talk at his rallies and he's going off,
yes,
or
the
when
energy
you talk,
is so different.
or when you see him getting on the plane and the reporters ask him questions, he never says anything positive, anything, anything unifying, anything trying to bring the country together, anything loving. He never says any of that. That speech last night had so much love in it, I didn't know who was talking.
He looked constipated. He really did.
Thank you, Tommy.
Somebody had to say it. Huh?
Man, if I could have thought of that instead of the toilet analogy, that's really what I was trying to say.
Same thing. Yeah.
Oh, well.
Well, I mean, we'll get into it a little more later. I guess his goal was to try to unify, get some bipartisanship going or something.
Yeah, I mean, that's great. Every president has tried that.
All right. Coming up at 32 after the hour, as you mentioned, Steve, last night was a State of the Union address by our president. We'll talk about it right after this.
You're listening to the Steve Harvey Morning Show.
All right, last night, the president delivered his State of the Union address. His theme was choosing greatness. That was the president's theme as he addressed the nation after the longest government shutdown ever. Since the last State of the Union address, Democrats have taken control of the House. So did you see the Speaker of the House, Nancy Pelosi, sitting right behind the president in her rightful place now? The president talked about immigration and the border wall, of course. And then he had a call for bipartisanship. Some Democrats believe the president is setting up for another government shutdown, though, which may be looming when a temporary spending measure expires in just a few days on February 15th. Here are some of the moments from the president's speech.
And my fellow Americans, we meet tonight at a moment of unlimited potential. As we begin a new Congress, I stand here ready to work with you to achieve historic breakthroughs for all Americans. Millions of our fellow citizens are watching us now gathered in this great chamber, hoping that we will govern not as two parties, but as one nation.
Meanwhile, Democrat Stacey Abrams made history as the first black woman to give a response to the State of the Union address. She countered the president's message and blasted him for the government shutdown, talked about a vision for our nation that embraces diversity, equality, justice, and opportunity for all. Take a listen.
We may come from different sides of the political aisle, but our joint commitment to the ideals of this nation cannot be negotiable. Our most urgent work is to realize Americans' dreams of today and tomorrow, to carve a path to independence and prosperity that can last a lifetime. Children deserve an excellent education from cradle to career. We owe them safe schools and the highest standards, regardless of zip code. Yet this White House responds timidly, while first graders practice active shooter drills, and the price of higher education grows ever steeper.
And Steve, Democrats think that Stacey Abrams is someone who represents a lot of what the party is looking for right now. And the Democrats are also keenly aware of the power of mobilizing African-American voters, and they certainly think Stacey Abrams is one who can do that since she had such a great showing in Georgia, albeit she lost. But still.
I think that African-Americans are going to be engaged moving forward. They were very engaged in the midterms. For the first time, I saw an involvement I hadn't seen in the past, even from myself in the midterms. I was a lot more active than I normally am.
Yeah.
Myself, we were as a radio show.
Yeah.
And so I think that African Americans will be very engaged in 2020. I think it's going to be.
We better be.
Let me tell you something. 2020 will probably be the highest voter turnout in the history. Because this is why I say this. I think that everybody is so galvanized right now. We are so politicized in this country. Every Republican right wing is going to show up for Trump. And the 3 million more votes that he got beat by Hillary, they coming back and they bringing some more.
Yeah, I think we better get ready so we won't have to get ready.
Okay.
Right.
We
Hey,
need
you
to
know
stay
what,
ready.
Shirley?
No, seriously, huh?
I am concerned. And I will tell you why.
Okay.
Because, and I'm right about this a lot of times. I could be wrong, but I've been right about it. I've called a lot of stuff that I watch. The Democrats are doing the exact same thing that the Republicans did to Obama. We're doing the same thing to Trump. Now, it happens to be deservedly so because Donald Trump is making a lot of policy and statements that's very divisive to our country. So I understand what Democrats are trying to do. But we're so focused on stopping him, so focused on not giving any ground to him, that we're not preparing the candidates. Our field is so crowded already.
Yeah.
And when you looked up there on that stage at the Republican debate and there was them 16 people standing up there
Too many
and
people on
Donald
the field.
Trump won, the Democrats can't afford to have 16 people standing up there
No.
because we don't play politics like Republicans do.
Yeah, we need to be more unified. We definitely need to have some organization and some unification in our party, prepare, a couple of good candidates, someone that we know that can beat this man, and prepare
and who's the leader of the party.
Yeah,
of the Democratic Party.
and prepare them. And then we need to do our part. We need to register. We need to educate ourselves. We need to do all the things that we need to do. So come November of next year, we're going to the polls in massive numbers, like you say, Steve.
You know what? We need to be honest.
There you go.
If you know you don't have a shot in hell,
get out.
You're talking to the
get out now.
As a candidate.
To the candidates.
I'm telling
Yeah.
you, man.
Yeah.
Okay.
If you know that, don't muddy the water and create dissension in the party and have everybody thinking because right now,
Like that Howard Schultz guy. Yeah.
no
the
two
Starbucks
people
guy.
are similar. He has a chance, but if he runs as an independent, it's going to split the Democratic vote, and Trump going to be back in.
Exactly.
So he got to come on and play the game right. He's talking about the Democrats are moving too far to the left. Man, have you noticed how far to the right the Republican Party is going? He used the example last night about this abortion that this woman was having super late. And he used that as a rallying cry. We've got to protect all of God's children. Here's the hypocrisy of that statement. Republicans and conservatives know good and damn well they get abortions. They know good and damn well they get abortions. But they all jump to their feet. We got to protect life. That's not, y'all so wrong about that, man. That's not true. They get abortions at the same rate as everybody else. But here's the hypocrisy. We love all God's children. If you really did, you wouldn't separate them from their parents at the border. If you really did.
All right. Moving on, Steve. Coming up next, it is a nephew here to run that prank back right after this.
You're listening to the Steve Harvey Morning Show.
Coming up at the top of the hour in national news, an update on 21 Savage, and of course, Steve, PETA upsetted Big Boy for rocking his fur coat at halftime in the Super Bowl. Right now, though, we'll talk about it. Right now, it is the nephew.
What?
With Run That Prank Back. What you got, Neff?
That Aqua Boogie current. And then guess what? When I come back with the next prank, got a brand new one for you out the park, okay? Aqua Boogie right here. Here you go.
Hello. Hello, I'm trying to reach a Quincy, please.
This is.
Hey, how are you? My name is Maurice. Maurice calling you from the power company. How you doing today?
I'm all right. What's up?
Well, listen, we're doing some testing in your neighborhood. We're trying to make sure we don't have to actually shut the power down out there. And we're calling around to quite a few people in your neighborhood, running some tests on individual homes and making sure the electricity is running correctly. Can I get you to do a few things for me and see if, and the quicker we get through with this, sir, and there's a possibility we won't have to turn your power off at all. I know you don't want us to have to come out and turn power off, and you got stuff in your refrigerator that can spoil and things like that. So we want to try to get this done, and hopefully the power with the test that we run, it'll run correctly, and we won't have to do anything. Okay?
I don't know nothing about no electricity though. You know what I'm saying? So.
No. I understand that. Don't worry about that.
All right.
Here's what I need you to do. Now, how big is your house? How many bedrooms you got?
4 bedrooms.
4 bedrooms. Now, you have upstairs, downstairs?
It's 2-story.
Okay. All right. So here's what we need to do. If you can.
This ain't gonna take long though, right? I got it because I'm in a hurry, man. I ain't gonna have a lot of time.
No. This won't take long at all, sir. Can I get you to take your breaker and shut down everything upstairs, and we're gonna run a test on the stuff downstairs right now. It'll be real quick.
All right, everything's shut. Everything's down.
Okay, you turned off
everything.
Upstairs.
I just turned off all the switches.
Okay, here's what I need you to do. I need you to turn on your television and then turn it off.
Downstairs?
Downstairs. How many TVs you got downstairs?
I got 2 TVs downstairs.
Let's turn them both on.
Hang on. Just turn them on?
Yeah, just turn them on. You got them on?
I got one on. Hang on.
Let's try to turn that other one on.
All right, they both on.
Okay, now you got a microwave in your kitchen?
Yeah, I got a microwave.
Okay, turn that on.
It's already on, man. I can see the lights on. It's got the clock on it.
That's got that double Atron thing that's going through there. It's a whole different type of current. I just want to
I don't know nothing about what you're talking about, but I got to get to work, man. So the microwave's on. It's running.
No. I want you to actually turn it on. I want you to actually push like a minute or two on that thing.
What's that got to do with anything, man? Come on now. I mean, what I got to do?
No, this is a test, sir. What I don't want to have to do is come out there and turn your power off. And I don't want to do that. You got a lot of food in your fridge, I'm sure, right?
All right. Hey, look, it's on. Microwave's on. TV's on.
Okay. Now, open your refrigerator.
Man. The electricity works downstairs.
Okay, but listen now. I know, but what we got to do is we got to make sure that this stuff isn't overpowered. Now, can you open your refrigerator?
Yeah, man.
Do you see the button that actually has? I mean, you can you can push it and the light will go out. You know what I'm talking about?
Come on, man. You ain't got nobody to just be able to check something outside, man. I mean, I'm in the fridge.
I understand, but push that button 5 times for me and see what it does.
The what? The light button?
Yeah, push that light button 5 times.
Come on, man.
Did it go off and on every time?
Yeah, it's off and on, man. Ain't nothing wrong with the refrigerator. The refrigerator's plugged in, man.
Okay. Now, here's what I want you to do. Right there, if you're in the kitchen, turn your sink on for me.
Turn the sink on? What they got to do with electricity, man?
Well, see, that's a nitro current. You wouldn't understand that, but I need you to turn that on for me, too. Just turn it on full blast. Got it on?
I got it on.
Okay, now go in your master bedroom.
I can turn it off?
No, let that water run. Go in your master bedroom and go in the bath for me. I appreciate you helping me out on this.
Man,
Quincy.
Come on, man.
Quincy, I appreciate you.
I'm in a hurry. I mean, everything's working. I'm in the bath. What's up?
Okay, flush that toilet for me, Quincy.
Say what?
Flush that toilet for me.
Flush the toilet?
Yeah, flush that toilet.
Man, it ain't even electrical.
What it is, it's an aqua boogie.
Man, look, you need to get somebody. I'm gonna flush the toilet. It ain't no electrical plugs or nothing in this area, man.
Right, I understand that. You don't see what it is. This is an aqua boogie current that flows through that water. Flush that thing for me one time. Yeah, that's it. Okay. All right.
Toilet works, man. You ain't got nobody in the area that could come out here and just check this out, man.
Quincy, I'm trying my best not to come out and turn your power off. And I know you got somewhere to go.
Why you gonna turn my power off, man? You supposed to be making sure the power stay on.
Right, I understand that. Now, Quincy, do you have a blender?
Yeah, I got a blender, man. I got a blender, I got a TV, I got a refrigerator, and they all work. The toilet works, everything works.
All right, what I want you to do is get this blender, and we'll just throw you a few cubes of ice or something in there and turn that thing on for me.
Come on, man.
We're almost done.
I got to get to work, man.
Just work with me, Quincy. I appreciate it, man.
This is just the blender. Come on, man. This some bullshit.
Yeah, that's that isometric current.
Electricity work in this house, man. You need to check the next house.
You don't have no problems with no smoothies or nothing in that thing, do you?
You serious? Man, what the hell that got to do with anything, man? I got to get to work.
I understand.
Listen. Be a minute, man. This going too far. Have somebody come out here or do this because I need to get to my job.
And I understand that.
Well, I could just call and have people go through the damn house playing scavenger hunt. I got to get to work.
Okay, now listen, Quincy, one last thing. Are you able to shut that breaker, put that breaker back on, and then shut off downstairs and then go upstairs and check some stuff for me?
Shut off what?
Shut off the breaker downstairs. Go ahead and turn it on.
I'm not shutting off no breaker downstairs. I shut off the one upstairs. We done turned on every damn thing down here. You didn't have me. I got the blender. I done turned on the microwave, the refrigerator. Come on, man. Flushing the toilets and I got to get to work.
Quincy, I need you to lose this attitude you got.
I need you to get somebody down here to do this. My electricity in my house work. It worked for you. Call me. The only thing ain't work is my ain't at work because I'm here doing this bull playing off and on. Get somebody in here. This work.
Now don't piss me off and make me turn it all the way off.
Piss you off. My work. And when I get back from work, my still should be on.
I got one more thing I need to say to you, Quincy.
It better be the last thing.
This is Nephew Tommy from the Steve Harvey Morning Show. You just got pranked by your sister, Gail.
Gail better be in a witness protection program, man. Let me turn this water off, man. You got me.
Hey, man, let me ask you something, man. What is the baddest, I'm talking about the baddest radio show in the land?
That's got to be the Steve Harvey Morning Show. And Tommy, you call me again, they gonna be the show used to have Tommy on.
It's way down in there, Shirley. It's that aqua boogie current. Get ready, the nephew is coming to town. 14, 15, 16. I am in Killeen, Texas. Twice as Funny Comedy Club. Tickets on sale right now. Valentine's night, baby. I don't know.
All right, thank you, nephew. Coming up at the top of the hour, entertainment news. PETA is mad at Big Boi. We'll have an update on 21 Savage right after this.
You're listening to the Steve Harvey Morning Show.
All right, guys, in today's entertainment news, 21 Savage, the Atlanta-based rapper, was arrested in a targeted operation by U.S. Immigration and Customs Enforcement. You know, we know it as ICE. That happened early Sunday in Atlanta. He is currently in deportation proceedings in federal immigration court. According to ICE, 21 Savage is a British citizen who overstayed his visa after he entered the U.S. legally in July of 2006. However, his attorney said in a statement, as a minor, his family overstayed their work visas, and he, like almost 2 million other children, was left without legal status through no fault of his own. 21 Savage is on lockdown right now with no TV and barely any communication.
Wow. Man, ain't he? I mean, man, the kid wasn't doing nothing wrong, was he?
No.
No, they said it.
What's he called?
He's been in trouble before, but that all that has been expunged
right
before.
I mean, he was a kid.
But they say
he's
ICE,
26,
and they said ICE doesn't recognize his expungement. They still look at it as breaking the law, as a crime. So.
Well, you know, you can get your record expunged, but that I think I'm not well.
When it is expunged, don't it go away?
No,
yeah, but it's
it
supposed
really don't
to
go nowhere.
I'm witness.
Okay.
I'm sorry. I know a little bit about this. No, it doesn't go away.
But
I thought expunge mean gone.
Yeah, but you're talking immigration. You're talking immigration. They said that they don't recognize expungement. They still hold it into account.
They don't recognize it at the Canadian border either.
So you heard?
No.
You read a lot, Steve.
Loud and clear.
You read a lot, Steve.
Loud and clear.
All right, and other entertainment.
I was at customs in Canada for almost 6 hours.
Wow. That's a long time.
Almost 6 hours, dog.
Damn, I'd have been scared.
Man, they cut my coats open, all the line and everything. We had finished the Kings of Comedy in Buffalo at the Arco Arena. We had a lot of cash. We was in a limo to go over to Canada to gamble. That's where we was going. They saw them coats we had on, them big hats. They had us all get out, and boy, they got started. All that expunged stuff was on a table. Wow. So, I understand that. But I don't think this kid has done anything. You know, we got a lot of stuff to deal with.
A song out, too, where he was kind of condemning, you know, according to TMZ, the behavior of immigration officials for their detention of children at the border. So now folks are wondering, does that play a part of it? You know, it's just... And it's so much. It seems like he's being targeted.
Yeah, and isn't he under DACA as well?
Yeah, I mean, he's only 26.
So he came over here, right, when he was a kid, 13 or something.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, we also have other entertainment news. This is according to TMZ, PETA, the People for the Ethical Treatment of Animals, is mad at Big Boi for rocking his fur during the Super Bowl when he performed at halftime. PETA fired off a stern letter to Big Boi, addressing him by his real name, Antoine. Dear Antoine, our heart sank when you took the stage during the Super Bowl wearing your fur coat. The animal rights group PETA tries to convince Big Boi to retire all of his furs and switch to faux. Okay, that's what they're saying. Switch to faux.
I'm glad they ain't throw no paint on it.
No, not in Atlanta.
Doing the Super Bowl.
Yeah, and PETA says they're going to send him a gorgeous faux fur so he can flaunt that. All right, Steve, let's get to the news, please,
Ladies and gentlemen, Miss Ann Tripp.
Thanks, guys, and good morning, everybody. This is Ann Tripp with the news. Okay, President Trump addressed both chambers of the Congress last night in delivering his State of the Union speech after an unprecedented 35-day partial government shutdown. In it, he referred to the February 15th deadline and the effort, hopefully, to craft a deal.
Congress has
10 days left to pass a bill that will fund our government, protect our homeland, and secure our very dangerous southern border. As we speak, large, organized caravans are on the march to the United States. This is a moral issue. The lawless state of our southern border is a threat to the safety, security, and financial well-being of all America.
Democrats, by the way, say there's no bunch of caravans coming here. The Democratic Party's rebuttal, Stacey Abrams, says the issue is being misunderstood.
Compassionate treatment at the border is not the same as open borders. President Reagan understood this. President Obama understood this. Americans understand this. Democrats stand ready to effectively secure our ports and borders. But we must all embrace that from agriculture to healthcare to entrepreneurship, America is made stronger by the presence of immigrants, not walls.
And Abrams, who nearly, you may remember, won the Georgia governorship, just by a few points, says that this country's hypocrisy over voter suppression is a huge problem, along with the racism that contributes to it.
The foundation of our moral leadership around the globe is free and fair elections, where voters pick their leaders, not where politicians pick their voters. We fought Jim Crow with the Civil Rights Act and the Voting Rights Act. Yet we continue to confront racism from our past and in our present, which is why we must hold everyone from the highest offices to our own families accountable for racist words and deeds and call racism what it is, wrong.
By the way, Senate Democratic leader Charles Schumer was prepared to be unimpressed, he said, with Trump's speech even before he gave the thing.
It seems every year the president wakes up and discovers the desire for unity on the morning of the State of the Union. Then the president spends the other 364 days of the year dividing us.
I guess we'll see. In Wisconsin, a number of labor unions have joined forces to file a lawsuit against legislation passed by the lame duck Republican governor there and the GOP-dominated state legislature, hamstringing the new Democratic governor. And finally, the late CBS soap star Christophe St. John will be seen for the last time today, everybody, on The Young and the Restless. This is the last time, and the show will present a special tribute to his character, Neil Winters, on Friday. Christophe St. John found dead of an apparent suicide on Sunday. Now back to the Steve Harvey Morning Show.
You're listening to the Steve Harvey Morning Show.
All right, did you guys see last night's State of the Union address from the president? He had a lot of special guests in the building. It
was the Stay Awake address, but go ahead.
Yes, it was,
That's what
Tommy.
it was, okay.
His guests included a survivor of the Pittsburgh Tree of Life synagogue massacre, and also Alice Marie Johnson, the first-time drug traffic offender who... the president granted clemency to after he met with Kim Kardashian. Kim Kardashian played a big role in Miss Alice Marie Johnson's release.
Was a great thing that she did.
Yeah, and he acknowledged her in front of the house and everything. She stood up and took a bow. She was sitting right next to Jared Kushner and his wife, Ivanka.
Well, according to the way things is going, if she had stayed in jail, she would have met Jared and them in there because they coming.
Either way, it was about to happen.
Either way.
They were going to be sitting next to each other one way or the other.
Because it's coming. It's coming.
I love it when you're brilliant, Steve Harvey.
I'm so glad that sister got out, though.
Yeah.
Maybe she can return the favor someday.
Hey, you got me out, I'll get you out. How about that?
Yeah, this investigation, man, now they're into campaign stuff. You saw that, Steve?
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Now they're looking at the campaign committee. It's going down.
Yeah.
Going down, partner.
What an embattled
There's
president.
no collusion. Yeah, okay, what about all these stolen-ass campaigns? Somebody did something.
Yeah,
all these people ain't going to jail for nothing.
Right.
Because they coming. I just, man.
What did you think about the State of the Union? We talked about it earlier.
I didn't,
boring.
It's just too obvious when he's reading and when he's saying what he really thinks.
Yeah.
It's too obvious of a difference. I'll give Bush credit. When Bush read the teleprompter, it was very much like he spoke. When Obama spoke and read the teleprompter, it was because he was included.
You couldn't even tell.
In the speech writing.
Yeah,
they have to write his speech because he can't.
Right.
Because they're going to write things about unity, love of our country. We're all God's children. We're going to do this. this dude don't have no causes. And so when he's reading, man, it sounds nothing like he sounds when he's talking, getting on the plane, getting on the helicopter, when he's outside the White House, when he's talking to reporters, when he's on Fox. He sounds like two different people. And that's why I couldn't sit there and take to heart anything he was saying, because the writers intentionally tried to make it sound like he was about unity and bipartisan and reach across the aisle and agree, when in essence, he's not going to do that.
That ain't the dude at the rally.
Right.
That's for sure.
That ain't the dude at the rally, Tom.
All right.
Come on, man.
Coming up at 34 after the hour, actor Liam Neeson is in a bit of hot water as he admits he once wanted to kill a black person for revenge. We'll talk about that when we come back, right after this.
Very special set of skills.
You're listening to the Steve Harvey Morning Show.
All right, actor Liam Neeson, you know, this guy, we love this guy, star of Taken, one of our favorite movies.
1 and 2.
Yeah, Liam Neeson is speaking out about some controversial comments he made in which he admitted to wanting to kill a black person, any black person at this time, to avenge the rape of one of his very, very close friends. During an interview, Neeson attempted to explain how he learned the primal needs of violence and revenge, just how he learned that, and that they just lead to more revenge and more killing. He said it started when an unnamed loved one told him she was raped. This really happened to him in real life. And then he said when she admitted that she didn't know who it was, Liam asked her what color this person was, and she said black. Take a listen.
She said it was a black person. I went up and down areas with a cosh, hoping I'd be approached by somebody. I'm ashamed to say that. And I did it for maybe a week, hoping some black bastard would come out of a pub and have a go at me about something, you know, so that I could kill him.
Wow. He shut down the room with that comment. He really did.
I mean, you know, look, when you hear it like that, that's not a movie script.
That was him.
You said it. I was hoping some black bastard would come at me for a reason so I could kill him. I felt that way for a week. Okay, well, dog, you know, as a black man, I just get the feeling you talking about me. Now, I probably wouldn't get into no scrap with you, but it wouldn't take much if that's your attitude. You just want to kill a black man.
But he might have picked a fight as soon as he
You know what I mean?
Well,
So
at that time, that's what he said he was feeling. He didn't care who it was. He just wanted to get somebody back for doing harm to his friend.
But see,
right.
that's so ignorant.
Yeah.
I'm just saying that's so ignorant. If you do something to one of my friends, now if I see you and you black or white, if I see your white tail or your black tail, I'm going to do something to you. But any white person, see, I've never done that.
Yeah.
See, and let me tell you something, man. I've been exposed to racism at some levels, man, that we can't even talk about. But I never turned around and said, I'm going to do something to any white person. No, I want the person that did that to me.
Yeah.
But I would never, ever just go out. That's not even my thought process, that I'm going to attack a person simply because they white, because some other white person did. That's not me, man.
Right.
Can they fight like that? I mean, he can fight like he fight on TV. He can do that? He that good?
But he didn't, though. He said, you know, he didn't act on it. It was the thoughts. That's his point. He didn't do it.
Right, he didn't do it.
Okay, let me ask you a question.
And it happened over 40 years ago, I think.
Okay, let me ask you a question. But see, people losing their jobs over 40 years ago.
Yeah, absolutely.
I don't think,
right, you're
absolutely.
right, Steve.
I don't think he should lose his job
Virginia
or
governor.
his career be gone. I don't think that. But let me ask y'all a question. When you heard him say that, how did you feel?
Oh, outrage.
That he was a racist person. It was
I mean,
racism.
man, I felt sick just now. And this is a dude I've been liking in all his movies.
Yeah. Love Liam Neeson. We'll
I like
see
the
his
Grave.
movies. Yeah.
I like the doggone Taken. 1, 2, 3 took me. Come get me again.
He has that special set of skills.
I'm back hostile.
I have a very special set of skills.
But he's insisting that he's not a racist. He's not backing down from the story. He's insisting that he's not. He's saying that that's how he felt. He could have kept it to himself.
I'm telling you something.
know?
That is what's the ignorance of some people.
And that's what he's saying.
See, here's the deal. There are a lot of people who make racist statements, but then don't want to be labeled a racist. That's,
Yeah, he said that his rage never turned into violence, and he would have acted the same way if the rapist was white. Critics say he is a racist for not only implying...
Would you have wanted to kill any white person?
He said on Good Morning America he would have if the person was
He said that,
white.
yeah.
Just
Robin
any white
Roberts
person.
Yep, that's what he said. That's what he said. Yeah.
Wow.
All right, keep those comments coming at Steve Harvey FM. Up next, it is the nephew with the prank phone call that's coming up right after this.
You're listening to the Steve Harvey Morning Show.
All right, coming up at the top of the hour, guys, about 4 minutes after, it's my strawberry letter for today. Subject, oh, this one's for you, Tommy. My husband and I want our girlfriend back.
That's what I'm talking about. Now that's how you marry like that.
Hey,
What?
You know what?
The nephew is here with the prank. What you got for us, Neff?
Brand spanking new, baby. Help a brother with this child support.
What?
Help a brother with this child
I'm
support.
finna help you, dog.
Run it, cat.
Hello? Hello, am I speaking to Darius? This is me. Who is this? Hey, Darius, my name is Lewis, man. Lewis, I work at Tech up there with you. We met when your first week at the job we met, man. My name is Lewis. I work on the 3rd floor. You'll know me when you see me. You say Lewis? Yeah, Lewis. No, I don't remember no Lewis, man. You know, I met a lot of people on that, that first day, the first week. I'm just really getting acclimatized to the whole situation, bro. I kind of remember. It's all good. Don't even worry about it, man. Let me ask you this here, though. How long you been with us now, man? Man, about a strong month, man. I'm really enjoying it, man. Just really getting the swing and getting the hang of everything. So, man, I'm just really enjoying this. It's a great company, man. I'm just happy to be a part of something bigger than myself. You know what I mean? Yeah, man. Hey, well, you know what, man? We got to get you out, man, because, all the brothers, man, we get together and hang out on certain nights. We once a month, we might get out on the Thursday, man. So you got to come hang out with us, man. We got to get you out. Yeah, man. Okay. Yeah. Yeah, I love it, man. I'm just trying to make new friends, however I can do it. For sure, man. I call you, though. Darius, because I'm in a little bit of a jam, though, man. And I was trying to get somebody to help me out, man. And by you being just came into the company, man, it might be something you can actually help me out with, man. I just, I hate to come in and lean on the friendship before we even get started and hang out yet. But I just need a little bit of help, man. I'm just hoping maybe you'd be open to maybe helping me out or something. I'm always willing to help a brother out, bro. It just depends on what you talk about. You know what I'm saying? But okay, check this out, man. I ain't really want to tell nobody at the job. I ain't really trying to let nobody know my business or whatever. But here's the deal, man. Dude, I done got myself in a serious jam, man. I got a baby on the way, man. And I got a baby on the way. That's great, man. That's a great thing. No, dog. Listen, man. Listen. Just hear me out, though. There, I got a baby on the way, but this ain't from my wife, man. You see what I'm saying? Yeah. So I'm and the baby due like in the next, 6 weeks. The baby probably gonna be here. But check us out. You come in. But check us out. Here's what I was trying to see if you could do for me, man. Is it any way because I know you just now you probably ain't even got your second check yet. You know what I'm saying? Nah, man. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. But is there any way, man, that you might maybe like claim this baby for me on your where they take the child support out of your check? If they take the child support out of your check, but no, listen to me though. They take the child support out of your check, but I'm gonna give it back to you. I just don't want my wife to find out. You see what I'm saying? Man, what? Wait. Hold on, man. You mean you asking me about money out my check? No, but I'm gonna give it back to you every 2 weeks when you get your check. I'm gonna give.
Man, you got to be out your damn mind, man. I don't even know you, man. What the man? Man, I got a wife and kids of my own. You out your man?
Dog, listen, man. But Darren, listen to me, man.
Damn fool, man. Who you got a human resource gonna take some money out my check? I was somebody who would take some money out my
Dog, I got a friend in human resources.
You got your damn mind, man. Some money out my check for some you did? Man, I got my own kids to take care of. There's money coming out my own damn check for my own kids. You tell me what's wrong with you, man? How you get my damn number anyway, man?
Oh, no, I got your number from one of the guys at the job, man. We're one of the
what guys, man? I don't know, man. What guys, man? You on the phone talking this man, talking about we got an hang out, man. We got an hang out, man. I ain't never some bull. You can hit me with this bull you talking about now, man. Hey, I bet you this. I bet you might not a red stick better come out my damn check, man. Are we gonna have surprise? What's your name again? Who are you?
My name Lewis.
Lewis who? Lewis who?
My name Lewis.
Lewis. I don't know no Lewis, man. Ain't no Lewis is where I work at, man.
No, man. We met the first couple of days you got there, man.
Hey, like man, I'm Lewis, man. Who is this somebody around talking about taking money out my check, man?
And, no, all I'm saying, dog, I'm going to give you the money back. All I'm just saying is...
All I'm saying is, dog, I better not touch my money. I'm telling you that right now. Or we going to have problems. Hey, Lewis, how you spell it?
Lewis, man, Louis, dog.
Hey, let me tell you something. I bet not see no Lewis in the morning. I bet you that. I bet not see no Lewis in the morning. And who else got a human resource play with my money? Man, y'all crazy, man. Trying to have my wife kill me?
I'm just trying to get you to look out for me, man. I don't want my wife to find this stuff out, dog. That's all I'm trying to get you to look out for.
Who gonna look out for me, man? Who gonna look out for me and my kids, man? Taking money out my check.
Dog, just, can you at least maybe take 24 hours, just think about it?
Man, it ain't nothing to think about, man, when it comes to my money, man. Shut your damn man. I tell you what, Louis, you gonna be there tomorrow morning?
Yeah, I'm not tomorrow, but I mean,
you about to have these white folks see me perform. You gonna have them see some I guarantee you, these white folks, I'm gonna be on the damn news about y'all playing with my damn money. So, hey, you gonna have me show my and I ain't been on the job that long, but I tell you what, I'm gonna lose that somebody playing with my money. I guarantee you that. I guarantee you.
But hey, let me ask you this, man. Do you think Dwayne would have done this for me? Do you think your cousin Dwayne? Do you think he would have? Think he would have cut for me?
My cousin? What the my cousin got to do with this, dog?
Man, let me tell you what your cousin. Let me tell you what Dwayne got to do with this. Dwayne is the one that put me up to call you. This is nephew Tommy from the Steve Harvey Morning Show. You just got pranked by your cousin Dwayne.
Man. Who you say this? Wait, who is this?
This is nephew Tommy from the Steve Harvey Morning Show. Your cousin Dwayne got me to prank phone call you, brother.
I mean, man. Hey, man. Too damn early, man. To be talking about my money gets saved, man. You know, I ain't got my second check yet, man. Y'all ain't trying to get money out of the damn, Tommy. Tommy, boy, you keep playing around. Somebody gonna whoop your man. You know you too old for this, man.
Before we go, tell me this. What is the baddest, and I mean the baddest radio show in the land?
The Steve Harvey Morning Show. I had to tell you something else, man.
Why can't a brother get some help around here? You know what I'm saying? Everybody need a little help sometime.
Get your nephew, Steve. That's all I can say right now.
Boy.
Get your nephew.
Hey, man, let me tell you something. You must be out your.
Blankety blank.
Ready to go ahead and tell my wife. I'm not finna help you do nothing. You ain't asked me come in and help you make them.
What?
No,
I know that's right.
You do nothing, dog. You was in that solo.
All right. Thank you, guys. We got to get out of here. Up next, it is the Strawberry Letter subject. Tommy, it's for you. My husband and I want our girlfriend back. Yeah. We'll get into it right after this.
You're listening to the Steve Harvey Morning Show.
All right, it is time for today's Strawberry Letter. And if you need advice on relationships, on dating, on work, on sex, parenting, and more, please submit your Strawberry Letter to Steve Harvey FM and click Submit Strawberry Letter. Okay, we could be reading your letter just like we're reading this one. And this is a response to a letter we read a few weeks ago. And just like I did that letter, I got to do this one. I got to do a disclaimer, okay? Please get the kids out of the way. You don't want the kids hearing this.
I ain't going nowhere, though. Y'all ready? Buckle up and hold on tight. We got it for you. Here it is, the Strawberry Letter.
Subject, my husband and I want our girlfriend back. Dear Steve and Shirley, I am a 37-year-old married woman, and I found out that my husband was sleeping with my girlfriend when Shirley read my girlfriend's Strawberry Letter on the radio. Oops. I've been married to a man for 7 years, and I had a girlfriend on the side for most of our marriage. My husband and I had some financial issues, so my female friend, who was actually my lover, moved in with us to help out with the bills. My husband had no idea we were lovers, and I hope you can remember that letter. Oh, yes, we remember the letter quite well. Anyway, the arrangement was perfect for me because my girl and I would have fun together while my husband was gone, and my husband had no idea what was going on. Then my girl and my husband ended up having sex all the time, and they did a great job at hiding it from me. We were all busted when you read my girl's Strawberry Letter. At the time, I had no idea that my girl was even interested in having sex with men. And certainly not my husband. And the biggest shocker was that she was pregnant. I was furious because they had played me. I forced my girl to move out of our house, and I didn't talk to my husband for nearly a month. Now I realize that breaking up with my girl was a big mistake. I miss our friendship and intimacy. I talked to my husband about letting my girl move back in, and he is all for it, if she and I can work out our differences. But my girl is still angry with me, and she said that she doesn't want to move back in to a messy situation. I just want to put our family back together, especially since she's pregnant. Am I asking for too much? How can I fix this? Please help.
Mercy, Jesus.
Can you believe this letter,
Lord,
right?
Jesus.
Work it.
Well, first, I want to thank you for listening to the Steve Harvey Morning Show.
Not a thank you shout out.
We love all our listeners. We appreciate them, okay? And aren't you in, a bit of a pickle with all this mess going on? This is what happens, when you set out to play someone, you usually are the one that gets played. And in this case, it was your husband who ended up turning the tables on you. But did he have to get the girl pregnant too? That is my question. Did he have to do that? Couldn't they use protection? I mean, how disrespectful, all of this. First of all, you bringing her in, you doing her behind your husband's back, then her and your husband doing each other behind your back, and then getting pregnant on top of that. A mess. But in any event, it looks like the perfect situation for all involved, especially your hubby, who so slickly, I know Steve is going to get into this more, but who so slickly said he's all for your girlfriend / his baby mama to move in. Right. I knew you were, to move in if you guys can work out your differences. Okay. So get on that. Talk to her. She's your girlfriend too. I'm sure you can talk her into it, and you guys can have one big happy family. What I feel the most for, who I feel the most for in this situation will be the baby. All right. This innocent baby you guys are bringing into this mess. You got to think about that. The baby doesn't need to be seeing this. You're so you're so right about this. You not only have to fix your relationship with your husband and this girl, you got to think about the future, this baby and all of that. This is a mess. This is really, really, really a mess, and you started it. Steve?
Make me proud.
Let's just get to this right away. This the dumbest mess. This don't make no damn sense. First of all, you had a lover the whole time you was married. While your husband at work, you and her just in here just doing each other. Now then, while you gone, Tricky, we'll refer to her as Tricky. Tricky started doing your husband.
I like Tricky.
Mm-hmm.
So now Tricky in there doing you when he gone and him when she gone. She got to be tired. She got to be tired.
She's exhausted, right?
Soon as the car start up in the driveway, she got to go, oh, Lord Jesus. Where is they going now? I'm in here trying to get some rest. Soon as that car pull out the driveway, Tricky.
Not Tricky, though, but I love Tricky.
Here the next time. Tricky. Here the next time.
Tricky time.
Tricky. Okay. I'm going to show you how Tricky's day go. Tricky, he going to work. All right, let me get myself together. Tricky, I just came home for lunch.
I love the change in voices.
Tricky, he going back to work after lunch.
He's adorable.
Tricky, I'm home.
Fast. It's for letter purposes.
6 o'clock. Tricky, he went to play poker with his friend. Tricky, I'm back from playing poker.
And I won.
And I won. Got a little extra change.
Yeah.
That's Tricky's day.
Wow, Tricky.
Tricky is exhausted.
Yes, she is. Yes, she is.
And I know why she's pregnant. Because they didn't have time for no protection.
Yeah, she doesn't have time for much. You're right.
So after this, I'm going to share with you the rest of the letter. How I feel about it.
All right, we're going to recap this whole thing, Steve. This is crazy, crazy, crazy. Who is it?
Tricky.
Who is it now?
Tricky, it's 2:30 in the morning. He went to take his mama to the hospital.
What? What do you want? What is it?
Don't play with me, girl.
I'm tired.
All right, look, we're going to have part 2 of Steve's response coming up to Tricky, the letter called Tricky, at 23 after. Subject, my husband and I want our girlfriend, Tricky, back right after this.
You're listening to the Steve Harvey Morning Show.
All right, Steve, let's recap today's letter. My husband and I want our girlfriend back.
Yeah, she want a girlfriend back because she had a girlfriend, moved her in because they was having financial difficulties with her and her husband. Her husband don't know that her girlfriend is actually her lover. So every time he leave the house, they going at it. Now, her husband then start looking around and Tricky, who is the girl, start liking the man. And so now every time she go, she getting it on with the dude. The woman finds out because we read the strawberry letter. She said she had no idea her girl was even interested in having sex with men. And certainly not my husband. The biggest shocker was she pregnant because she confused.
God.
She having sex so many times with y'all too. She don't know, do I need protection? Is this wrong? What's
What
this
day
artificial? Is this a real thing? What's happening in here?
What day is it?
Yeah. So I was furious because they had played me. Wait a minute. Wasn't you playing him?
Yes.
What you mad at? I forced my girl to move out of our house, and I didn't talk to my husband for nearly a month. Now I realized that breaking up with Tricky was a big mistake. I miss our friendship and intimacy. So I talked to my husband about letting my girl move back in. Excuse me. That's a misprint. I talked to my husband about letting our girl move back in, and he was all for it. You damn right he was.
Right. It's a win-win.
He said if she and I can work out our differences, but my girl is angry with me, and she says she don't want to move back into a messy situation. What? What?
Yeah.
Where did you think this was messy? Let me tell you when it got messy. When she asked you to move in and you was her girlfriend/lover, that was messy. But now she don't want to move back into this messy situation. I just want to put our family back together. What? When you say dysfunctional family, you at a whole new level. Like Shirley say, she feels sorry for the baby because the baby's mama is pregnant by her brother-in-law, so to speak, which would make him the baby uncle and the baby daddy.
This is crazy.
The woman that's had Tricky having the baby is the mama, but then you is supposed to be her friend like her sister, so you the baby's aunt, but you really the baby's stepmother. Because you married to the daddy of the baby.
This is crazy.
So when this baby go to school, his first day is going to be so confusing. Mm-hmm. What is your mother's name? I'm not sure. Excuse me? I'm not sure. Who is your father? Oh, I know who my father is. So he's your father? Well, he's my father and my uncle. What? Why is he your uncle? Because my mama's sister is married to him. Well, then that's your uncle. How is he your father? Well, he became my father because his wife went to work too much.
What?
Yeah.
What, little boy?
And that's how it happened. Wow. And he just gonna start sliding on the sliding board.
That's his life.
Little baby, he ain't finna work through it no more. It's confusing to him.
That's crazy.
This is the worst letter. I don't see how. The dude wants it's a whole family. This is dysfunctional, man.
Yes, it is.
I thought we were dysfunctional.
And you didn't speak to him for a month. Oh, girl, you finna throw yourself into something when she come back in the house because you're going to try to eyeball the situation. Now, if you ain't worked out that y'all all seeing each other, then don't worry about it. But I think she don't want back, not because it's messy. I don't think she want back because she just tired.
Now, Uncle,
she just tired.
She's just tired, Steve.
Let me ask you this. So when they hadn't talked in a month, and her husband, had he seen her, the other lady?
Oh, yeah.
Tricky?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. He'd been somewhere with her. Oh, yeah. He been seeing her the whole time.
Okay.
Now, and one more time, Steve, Tricky is the girl?
Tricky is the girl.
I'm trying to keep
that's sleeping with the husband and the wife.
Okay, I'll drop my
who is
phone.
pregnant by the husband. But her and the girl is best friends, so they like sisters. So the baby is gonna be gonna have an aunt that's married to her father, to the baby father, but it's really gonna be the baby mother-in-law.
What? Now you really confused me.
Yeah. See, the lady that invited the lady in, that's really her lover and girlfriend.
Yes.
So the girlfriend's like sisters. So she gonna have to tell the baby, this your aunt.
Wow.
You know, when the baby get here. But really, what the baby don't know is since the husband is the daddy, that the baby aunt is really her mother-in-law. So she gonna have two mothers in the house and a daddy.
Wow.
And an uncle and an aunt.
God.
That's too much.
I'm
This baby
excited
messed
about
up.
this letter.
Why are you excited?
Yeah, because I want them to get back together so they can write us the next letter.
Yeah. At least they listen. I love the fact that they listen to us.
That's true, right?
Y'all crazy, man. I don't know what y'all doing, man.
Let's talk to him.
All y'all going to hell.
Wow. Well, I hope they work this out.
I hope they call us.
They're not going to call us, dog. And you can't talk to them.
He's way too excited.
I'm going over there if we get the number.
Boy, you ain't going nowhere.
All right, listen. You can email us. You can Instagram us your thoughts on today's Strawberry Letter at steveharveyfm.com. And coming up in 10 minutes, we'll talk more about last night's State of the Union address, Steve. You wanted to talk about it. Also, Stacey Abrams' response for the Democrats right after this.
You're listening to the Steve Harvey Morning Show.
All right, listen to the Steve Harvey Morning Show, and listening to the Steve Harvey Morning Show pays off big. We give away big prizes. We had a big Sand and Soul giveaway at the end of the year, and we are happy to announce, Steve, that Selena J. from Lake Charles, Louisiana, will join us in Punta Cana this year.
Lake Charles, baby.
Selena J, baby.
You better come on, Selena J.
She was a lucky winner, Selena J was, of an all-expense-paid trip to this year's 2019 Steve Harvey's Sand and Soul trip, okay? So now if you want to kick it with us, if you do, you can book your trip to join us for Sand and Soul. All you have to do is go to steveharveysandandsoul.com right now.
Yeah.
That's it.
Kick it with Selena and us.
We're going to have fun.
Yes.
More fun this year than last year, right?
Yes.
Turn up.
Yes.
Turn up. Yes. All right, Steve, now switching gears. Today's big headline, of course, is last night. State of the Union speech by our president. His theme was choosing greatness. The president talked about immigration. He talked What'd you say, Steve?
Really
choosing
greatness.
Yes. The president also talked about immigration. He talked about the border wall, of course. He called for, this is great news, though, a call for bipartisanship. And then he wanted to try and pull it together or make it appear that he was trying to reach across the room, to the Democrats.
No.
Yeah.
I wasn't buying any of it.
You didn't buy it.
He don't like what he was reading, sir. I tell you that.
Man.
I'm going to be real about it.
He was mad about it.
He don't like none of that speech they put in there.
Well, I mean, some of the Democrats do believe that the president is setting up for another government shutdown. That could happen on February 15th. Temporary spending measure expires, on February 15th. So here's some moments from the president's speech. Take a listen.
And my fellow Americans, we meet tonight at a moment of unlimited potential. As we begin a new Congress, I stand here ready to work with you to achieve historic breakthroughs for all Americans. Millions of our fellow citizens are watching us now gathered in this great chamber, hoping that we will govern not as two parties, but as one nation.
All right, and you remember our girl from Georgia. She was running for the governor of Georgia, Democrat Stacey Abrams. She made history as the first black woman to give the response to the State of the Union. So congratulations to her. She countered the president's message and blasted him for the government shutdown. She also talked about a vision for our nation that embraces diversity, equality, justice, and opportunity for all.
We may come from different sides of the political aisle, but our joint commitment to the ideals of this nation cannot be negotiable. Our most urgent work is to realize Americans' dreams of today and tomorrow, to carve a path to independence and prosperity that can last a lifetime. Children deserve an excellent education from cradle to career. We owe them safe schools and the highest standards, regardless of zip code. Yet this White House responds timidly, while first graders practice active shooter drills and the price of higher education grows ever steeper.
He said that in his speech last night, and it sounded so unbelievable because it's
coming
nothing
from him,
like anything he's ever said.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
I was sitting there going, wow, man, is anybody, and the Republicans jump up and clap. Mm-hmm. They got to know, man, this is so hypocritical. This is not the guy who's been governing for the past 2 years.
Yeah.
And he didn't believe the speech. It wasn't convincing. It was all red. When he looks down over the top of his nose like he got on reading glasses. And, he puts his nose up in there like he just nailing it. I just didn't. Look, man, if he was sincere about that and I could detect that in his voice or believe it by any of his actions, I would say, man, pretty good speech. But it wasn't. It wasn't his words. No.
And you know what, Steve? He also took a lot of credit for the economy and job growth, and then there was some fact checking.
Obama's credit.
Yeah. There was a lot of fact checking saying that, he cannot have all the credit for that. Some of that happened under the Obama administration. So,
Right. But you know what, though, Carla?
Yes, Steve.
Fox won't do that, though.
They won't fact check.
So his base is being fed several untruths.
Lies.
And they're going to go to the polls. Look what he's done. Look what's happened since he's been president.
That's true.
And Fox is not going to fact check him. They don't ever talk about the number of lies, ever. So,
Yeah, don't say untrue. Say lie.
Say lie.
Say that. Or like my granddaddy say, can on. Quit, say that. Say something like that.
Telling the story. Remember that?
Story.
We could not say lie
Say
growing
lie.
up.
No,
We
I
could
couldn't
not.
No.
Oh, no. That was like a curse word in our house,
Yeah,
right?
it was.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we had to say
And
tell
I
the
don't
story.
know why. I did question it. Yeah. I got beat down.
Got
but-
your
My
lips
mama-
pushed through the back of your throat.
You
didn't
know I did,
Boy.
but
Because you said why?
yes.
Why I can't say lie?
Why? How is that a bad word? I just didn't understand it.
Listen,
My
you know how
mama
many
said,
times
I guess I'm lying.
Yeah.
I guess I'm lying. I said, no, it's a malfunction in your statement.
I know you got knocked out.
When I looked up, it was two white people standing over me. I ain't lying to you.
With smelling salt.
But
this one I got slapped.
What?
Why can't?
Huh?
You couldn't even finish the sentence.
You couldn't even- you better-
Why?
Why can't pop?
These millennials don't even know. They could
Have
say
no idea.
They can say whatever.
All I said
Was
why can't?
Just didn't get the rest of it out.
You can't
What?
question nothing.
Yeah. All right, coming up at the top of the hour, Tom Brady says he does not like to be called the GOAT. We'll be back right after this.
You're listening to the Steve Harvey Morning Show.
Well, New England Patriots Super Bowl winning quarterback for the sixth time, Tom Brady, says being called the GOAT, greatest of all times, is just a title that makes him cringe, he says, because he handles criticism way better than he deals with compliments. I mean, a lot of people feel that way. I get it. Brady was on Good Morning America with Michael Strahan. Strahan told Tom Brady that he considers him the best quarterback who ever played the game. But Tom Brady said he doesn't like that. Take a listen.
A lot of people, myself included, call you the GOAT, greatest of all time.
I don't even like that. I don't even like it. It makes me cringe. It makes me cringe.
Really?
It makes me cringe. I guess I take compliments worse than I wish you would say you're trash, you're too old, you're too slow, you can't get it done no more. And I would say, thank you very much. I'm
You're
going to go prove you
driven
wrong.
by criticism more than you're driven by success.
Yeah, absolutely.
I get
Uh-huh.
it. Okay.
Yeah, I get
But
it.
he is the greatest.
He
You
is.
got to give it to him.
Yeah.
I wish I'd have been there. Well, if you ain't, who is?
Why you angry, though?
Yeah, but I'm going to turn it on them. Don't be mad. You like criticism? If you ain't, who is? Huh?
Okay, pick the greatest of all times in every sport. Boxing, football, basketball,
Boxing,
baseball.
Muhammad Ali.
Mm-hmm.
Basketball, Michael Jordan. Baseball, greatest baseball player, I would have to give that to Jackie Robinson.
Oh,
to
yeah.
play and do what he did in
Forgot
the
about
time
that.
he did it,
Yeah.
to me, it's just, hands down. What else you want?
Golf,
Golf, Tiger Woods.
tennis.
Tennis for boys and girls.
Yeah, let's break it up.
For the dudes, I think it's Roger Federer.
Oh,
Okay, that makes sense.
okay.
For the girls, I think it's Serena.
Yes, sir.
She's the greatest female player I've ever seen.
Hockey.
Wayne Gretzky.
Yes.
Oh, okay, Gretzky, yeah.
But you didn't do football.
Soccer.
Football.
Well, Tom, I thought it was Tom
Football, you have to go by positions.
Okay. So quarterback.
Greatest quarterback I've ever seen is Tom Brady.
Brady. Okay. There you go. Running back.
Jim Brown.
Cornerback.
Deion Sanders.
You better say this, boy.
That's
You gave
right.
him love at the NFL
I
honors,
ain't-
too.
I
Yeah,
don't
you
even
did.
play with
Yeah.
it.
You did.
That boy at the corner, wicked. Any more positions?
Wide receiver.
Wide receiver Jerry Rice.
Kicker.
He's one
I don't like kickers.
because all they do.
Well, it's a position.
I don't know.
The
none.
greatest
Coach.
kicker.
The
Coach,
greatest
greatest
punter I've
coach.
ever seen is Ray Guy. That's the greatest punter. The kickers, I can't say their name.
Coach.
Greatest coach of all time? I like Walsh.
Bill
Walsh, but I got to tell you, the best coach I've ever seen for setting up schemes is Bill Belichick.
Yeah,
Did we
they
do
have a
running back?
dynasty.
Running back is Jim Brown. The
Yeah, you
second
said
greatest running back I ever saw was Sweetness, Walter Payton.
Okay. All right.
Man, I know what I know.
Have you watched soccer at all?
That's-
Have you watched soccer at all?
Pele.
Pele.
After Pele, I like that boy Neymar, but Messi is bad boy too.
What about Arthur Ashe? Steve? Where does he fall?
Oh, greatness in tennis for men, for so many reasons.
Yeah, legend.
He was a bad boy.
Any more
The goats,
sports?
baby. The goats.
Volleyball.
Swimming?
Yeah.
Phelps.
Oh,
Boy,
yeah.
that boy bad.
How many calories did you say he ate yesterday?
12,000.
Do you know how fat we would be?
But he's swimming that off so fast.
Yeah,
I be sitting in here looking like a Cosby cartoon character. I be Fat Albert.
We wouldn't be able to make one lap in the pool
At
after
all.
eating like that.
12,000
That's
calories.
a lot of food.
That's so much food.
Did I miss anything? Cycling? Did I miss anything? How was cycling?
Oh, yeah. Well,
Armstrong.
yeah.
Drugs and everything. He's a bad boy.
You know,
Drugs
cheating
and
and
I don't
all.
give a damn what he did to his blood.
I'm
You
just
still got
saying.
it.
What about you know those cage sports like
MMA?
yeah, I guess.
Silver.
Okay.
Yeah.
Silver. Out of Brazil.
Oh, light heavyweight boxing and all of that.
The greatest light heavyweight?
Oh, Sugar Ray.
No, he wasn't light heavyweight. Sugar Ray was welterweight.
Well,
I don't never know those weights. I never knew the weights at all.
What?
Sugar Ray Leonard, probably the baddest welterweight. Sugar Ray Robinson was legendary. Sugar Ray Leonard, though, in the welterweight division, he was a bad boy, man.
Now, how heavy is Walter weight?
I hate him.
Yeah, 147.
147 Walter weight.
It's welterweight.
Now, welterweight is what?
Welterweight is the same thing as welterweight.
Don't get caught up,
little
Steve.
Walter. It's welterweight.
Don't get caught up with him, Steve. I know you guys are related.
Mayweather was boxing or what? But see, to me, Sugar Ray Leonard would have got Mayweather.
Really?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, man.
What about Marvelous Marvin?
Sugar
Hagler?
Ray Leonard would have found a way. Sugar Ray Leonard
To
would
beat
have
his
found
opponent.
a way.
And
But see, that's when he fought Marvelous, they went up.
Oh, okay.
They went up. He went up to fight Marvelous and Hagler.
Nah.
Okay.
Did Walter weight come from somebody named Walter?
Welterweight.
Oh, I thought somebody named was Walter. And they measured their
And why
weight.
he get a weight class? That's what
And
you
why
want
he
to
get
know.
a weight by himself? What if Billy had weight like that? You know? That's what
The
I-
term welterweight came from a guy named Walter Dennison, who kept trying to get into the ring before it was his time. And somebody kept going, Walter, wait! And they went over there and weighed his ass, and he weighed 145, and that's how they came up with it. Walter Dennison. That's a Black History moment. That's for Black History that you didn't know yet.
Oh, yeah.
Little known Black history.
Very
Walter
little
Dennison.
known.
And you heard it right here on the Steve Harvey Morning Show.
Oh, Lord, you guys. All right, look, we'll be back with more of this ignorant show right after this.
You're listening to the Steve Harvey Morning Show.
All right, Steve, we've talked a lot today. We've talked about the State of the Union address from the president, and we've talked about Liam Neeson, who talked about a racist incident he had in his life back 40 years ago. And then, over the weekend, Virginia Governor Ralph Northam talked about something that happened in his life 30-some-odd years ago, a racial incident.
There's a picture of him in blackface. There's a picture on his page in his medical yearbook,
right,
from '84, I think it is. And there's a picture, 3 pictures of him, and then there's one picture of 2 people, one of them in complete blackface, and the other one completely in a Ku Klux Klan outfit. At first, he apologized for being in the picture. He's insensitive. He's hurt people. He didn't. Then he came back and said, "I went home and looked at the picture, and that's not me in the picture." Even though when they kept asking him which one he was, he would never say it.
I was so confused.
But then he went back and said, after looking at it and talking with my family and some classmates, that's not me in the picture. I thought it was the most cunning comeback to save his job. Then he came back, he said, I never bought the yearbook, so I never saw it. Okay, that could happen. But then he said, the only time I know I was in blackface was when I did that same year in San Antonio, a Michael Jackson costume. I was in a dance contest and I put dark shoe polish under my eyes because I think we all know how hard it is to get black shoe polish off your face. And I was sitting there going, I ain't nobody hear this.
No.
I don't have any idea how hard it is to get black shoe polish off my damn.
Steve, at all.
I'm clueless.
But if you
really
know
what
you
thought.
had it on before.
But for you to make that statement, and we all know how hard it is to get black shoe polish off your face, I went really.
How hard is it?
Yeah. Now, everybody's calling for his resignation. Every Democrat, every Republican. Here's my honest opinion. This happened 35 years ago.
Yeah.
We're getting into an era now of political correctness where he was 25 years old when this decision was made by him. But he swears up and down it's not him. He's asking for more time. He's got some facial recognition experts on this. But we went back 35 years to find this, and this guy to lose his job from something he did at 25. What's going to happen if they set the president? But see, the presidents. Now, here's what's crazy. Kavanaugh, who is a Supreme Court justice now, was accused of doing something when he was 17. They had public hearings about it.
Yep.
He almost didn't become a judge.
And he still got in.
Now, Donald Trump said some stuff on a bus to Billy Bush, and his ass is still president.
And Billy Bush is gone.
And Billy
lost
Bush
his
gone.
job.
And he didn't say nothing. He just laughed. That's kind of jacked up. Man. We got a lot of double standards here.
All right, we'll have more of the Steve Harvey Morning Show coming up right after this.
You're listening to the Steve Harvey Morning Show.
All right, guys, in today's entertainment news, 21 Savage, the Atlanta-based rapper, was arrested in a targeted operation by U.S. Immigration and Customs Enforcement. You know, we know it as ICE. That happened early Sunday in Atlanta. He is currently in deportation proceedings in federal immigration court. According to ICE, 21 Savage is a British citizen who overstayed his visa after he entered the U.S. legally in July of 2006. However, his attorney said in a statement, as a minor, his family overstayed their work visas, and he, like almost 2 million other children, was left without legal status through no fault of his own. 21 Savage is on lockdown right now with no TV and barely any communication.
Man, ain't he? I mean, man, the kid wasn't doing nothing wrong, was he?
No.
No, they said that.
What's he called?
He's been in trouble before, but that all that has been expunged
Right.
before.
I mean, he was a kid.
But they say
he's
ICE,
26.
and they said ICE doesn't recognize his expungement. They still look at it as breaking the law as a crime. So.
Well, you know, you can get your record expunged, but I think I'm not. Well,
when it is expunged, don't it go away?
No.
Yeah, but it's
it
supposed
really don't
to
go nowhere.
It's
Why do they say that?
I'm witness.
Okay.
I'm sorry. I know a little bit about this. No, it doesn't go away.
But
I thought expunge mean gone.
Yeah, but you're
that's
talking
what you thought
immigration.
wrong.
You're talking immigration. They said that they don't recognize expungement. They still hold it into account.
They don't recognize it at the Canadian border either.
So you heard?
No.
You read a lot, Steve.
Loud and clear.
You read a lot, Steve.
Loud and clear.
All right, and other entertainment.
I was at customs in Canada for almost 6 hours.
Wow. That's a long time.
Almost 6 hours, dog.
Damn, I'd have been scared.
Man, they cut my coats open, all
I'd
the
have been
linings,
scared.
everything. They saw them coats we had on, them big hats. They had us all get out, and boy, they got started.
Wow.
So I understand that, but I don't think this kid has done anything. You know, we got a lot of stuff to deal with.
A song out too where he was kind of condemning, you know, according to TMZ, the behavior of immigration officials for their detention of children at the border.
Oh.
So now folks are wondering, does that play a part of it? You know, it's just, and it's so much. It seems like he's being targeted.
Yeah, and isn't he under DACA as well?
Yeah,
Since
I mean, he's only 26.
So he came over here right when he was a kid, 13 or something.
He's a minor.
Yeah. Well, we also have other entertainment news. This is according to TMZ, PETA, the People for the Ethical Treatment of Animals, is mad at Big Boi for rocking his fur during the Super Bowl when he performed at halftime. PETA fired off a stern letter to Big Boi, addressing him by his real name, Antoine. Dear Antoine, our heart sank when you took the stage during the Super Bowl wearing your fur coat. The animal rights group PETA tries to convince Big Boi to retire all of his furs and switch to faux. Okay, that's what they're saying. Switch to faux.
I'm glad they ain't throw no paint on it.
Not in
doing the Super Bowl.
Yeah, and PETA says they're going to send him a gorgeous faux fur so he can flaunt that. All right, so there you have it. We'll be back with more of the Steve Harvey Morning Show and Steve's closing remarks at 49 after, right after this.
You're listening to the Steve Harvey Morning Show.
All right, Steve, we are back. It is time to close out the show, our last break of the day. You have some closing remarks for us?
Yeah. I want to talk about something Tommy sent me the other day. And it caused me to think about how some people get stuck in their life. And I want to say to everybody, you don't have to stay stuck. You don't have to allow a situation to be so daunting that you can't see moving beyond. Because you have to. You have to move beyond things in life. I was having a conversation with somebody, and I was telling them that it's imperative that you understand the things that you cannot change. There's a scripture that tells that so eloquently, of course. I don't know it. I can't tell you where it is, as often is the case with me. But I do have it in my heart, and I do understand it. But there's a scripture that talks about moving on and being in a position of accepting the things you cannot change. And if prayer doesn't change a thing or will not change a thing, even though we all know prayer changes things, it's some things that you don't even have to pray for because God told us he wouldn't change it. For example, time and tide waits on no man. Well, he told you that. So ain't no need of a group of y'all getting together, holding hands, talking about, Lord, stop the clock at 11 o'clock so we can finish this task in your name, Heavenly Father. No, stop. He said time and tide waits on no man. So the things that prayer ain't gonna change, because he told us some things won't change like that. You got to accept and move on. And accepting the things that happen in your life are a big part of it. You get stuck when you lose the ability to move on. And staying stuck don't help you at all. And I'll give you an example. What he sent me was this. He said, this plaque says, stop looking for happiness in the same place that you lost it. It has moved on. You know, happiness moves on. Every relationship don't stay a healthy relationship. Every situation you in that was happy at one time, it can turn sad. You gonna keep looking for happiness in the same place that you lost it. You have got to move on. And stop feeling sorry for yourself. You're not the first person somebody done left. You ain't the first person that done lost somebody you love. You're not the first person who someone has disappointed. You're not the first person been cheated on. You're not the first person who has lost faith in another person. You ain't the first person been lied to. You're not. You're not the only one. I got that things in life are hurtful. We've all been hurt before. I don't know a person that ain't been hurt. I don't think I know a person that ain't been disappointed. I don't know anybody that ain't suffered a setback. I don't know anyone who hasn't found something difficult to get over, including myself. But I tell you right now, like the plaque say, you can stop looking for happiness in the same place you lost it. Sometimes it's gone. He ain't the one for you, but you want him back. He wasn't good for you when you had him, but I want him back. Why would you want back something that wasn't good for you in the first place? Man, can we move on? Give God a chance to put something real in your life by stop wanting something that wasn't good in your life. Stop. Man, some people don't even know how to accept a blessing. We block more blessings wanting something that ain't good or right for us, stopping something that would be good for us. Stop. When we gonna get that through our head? You know how many times I've had to learn this lesson? Stop. Stop wanting something that ain't good for you. Stop wanting something back that wasn't right for you. Stop. Move on. Give something new a chance in your life. When one door closes in your life, could that possibly mean God got something better for you? Couldn't it possibly be that? Do you think just because a door closes that means it's finally over and ain't no more nothing gonna happen for you? Cause a door shut don't mean your life is done. You didn't die. You suffered a disappointment. You got fired. You got laid off. She texted you and told you she ain't want you no more. He ain't show up no more. He quit calling. You thought it was good. It wasn't. Stop looking for happiness in the same place you lost it. It's probably time to move on. Those are my closing remarks today. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
All right, Steve.
Bush, man. Sometimes I be talking to myself. Why you want that back?
It's all right to preach to yourself.
Yeah.
Dog, and quit asking God for stuff that he not finna do.
We gotta go.
All right.
Take us out, big dog.
Y'all have a good week.
For all Steve Harvey contests, no purchase necessary, void where prohibited. Participants must be legal U.S. residents at least 18 years old unless otherwise stated. For complete contest rules, visit SteveHarveyFM.com.
You're listening to the Steve Harvey Morning Show.